Hello, everyone, and welcome to the March 19th Product Analytics Group Sync. We've got a little bit of the team, so we're going to be doing what we can to get things going. But instead of the build board review, we're just going to do a bit of a synchronous stand-up, see what everyone's up to, what their focus is for the week. I'm happy to start. So my main focus right now is just making sure we have the stability and confidence to go with the general availability launch. So what we can do to verify the data going in and build some confidence in terms of our solution there. Had a lot of good conversations with people at the summit and trying to basically kind of help advertise that. But other than that, trying to see what else we can do in terms of getting the production readiness review document going. Yeah, that's a little bit of what I'm working on. Who'd like to go next?
Okay, I'll go next because I don't have much to say. So until then, everyone
Thanks,
can
Marina.
think about something. Yeah, this week, so I'm busy doing the release post structural check. So I'm busy with that today, most of the day. But after that, I'll be free again for reviews, pings, if you have anything I can help out with. Yeah.
Sounds good. And you can pick the next person in this case so we can drive a little urgency behind the stand-up.
Oh, okay. Jan.
Yes, thanks. Sorry, I have difficulty typing and talking. So my focus for this week is just making sure that everything that I can help out with in terms of GA blockers and things to do, that we get that done. I've basically finishing up with the refactor work that also does some UX improvements for dashboard saving and editing. So that's looking nice. So now my focus is just on making sure GA, and second, making sure that all our design issues are getting the technical assistance that they need. And yeah, I see, Dennis, you're typing out there that the onboarding polish issue is not a blocker.
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. I just wanted to make it clear this is the polished one in terms of like reworking a little bit of the code instrumentation, how to do that. I think onboarding is definitely a key focus we want to make sure in terms of like improving the success of product analytics. But this is separate from the issue to actually display the different options between whether you're bringing your own cluster and signing on for a self-managed version. So this specific polished one, I would say, is not a blocker for GA, though. I'm happy
Okay.
to hear otherwise. Sam, I don't know if you have any other thoughts on that.
Yeah, so when this issue was initially created, this was to be kind of a capture all for anything that, while we're going through and doing like final looks at things, we find rough edges that we have to smooth over before we ship, or if we find things that are good to do, but we should do immediately after GA, or good to do one day at some point unspecified in the future. I don't think there's anything in here in this issue that I'm looking at now that's going to be blocking for GA specifically. But if we do find anything, it should probably go in this issue and then probably split out into a new standalone issue. But I don't think we're tracking anything beyond the onboarding workflow that we already have separate issues for. That's going to be blocking for GA.
Okay, great. Thanks for clarifying. I wonder if, like, what you all think about moving this out of the GA epic, because I feel like in the past we've used the release epics and the issues therein specifically as like blockers. Like everything needs to be settled before we release. So I feel like this is something that we can then move into a higher level or a JSON epic.
We can. I think we actually want to get away from that. That's an ongoing topic between Sam, myself, and Lindsay in terms of just using the milestone releases to actually capture the release work. But so we can move away from the post GA epic, everyone's favorite epic, or at least my favorite. But that to your point, we should move it out of the milestone at this point. So I think the idea was that we would look at it and actually have this conversation. So it's doing its job, but I think we can at least push the 17.0 and see if there's anything in there. At that point, we should be out in GA, and at least in the very least, we should separate all the issues out at that point into distinct polish efforts.
Yeah. And a plug for a future feature that's coming, I'm really excited about, is custom fields. So in the future, we can use a custom field to define things like scope of a GA release or a beta or an alpha, as opposed to what we had to do with epics up to this point. So in the future, this will be easier, but not right now.
All right. Yeah, thanks for clarifying. I moved it to 17.0 then. All right, Halil, I nominate you.
Thanks. I was looking at the vector event shipping timing out. It's because it was in the infrastructure GA release epic. So yeah, I have an MR. Like it's a little bit difficult to reproduce. That's why it will be like I will try to like verify it in production. So that's under review now. And also we got some alerts from Vector again. So I was also looking at them, but they seem to be, at least for now, they seem to be not related to our Vector infrastructure, but something with remote write. So I'm collaborating now with the observability team to check that. And those two were what I was working on. And the rest I have some interviews and I'll continue to pick up some other GA issues. That's it from me. Next, I pick Sam, if you want to say something.
Sure. So this has been an interesting week. I'm creating new release post entries, which we haven't done for a while, and I'm really excited to be doing that. So Lindsay and I are going to be working on putting those release post MRs together. They should be ready for review in a few weeks as we get closer to GA. I also have a meeting later today to talk about design and usability strategy. So that's going to be another place to kind of go deep on some of the things we just talked about for the onboarding polish, and if there's anything else outstanding that we want to dig into from a design or a UX or a UI perspective. Also had a lot of follow-ups. I have a lot of follow-ups to do from conversations at Summit. Since we're so close now, I was really trying to build hype with all the field staff that I could find and tell them about what the great things that PA is doing are. And a lot of those came down to, let's talk next week once everyone's back and see if we can find some customers to have some early conversations with. So I'll be doing follow-ups on all of those this week. And I think I'm the last one on the stand-up go-around. So Dennis, back to you.
Yeah, just a quick welcome back for those that are watching the recording and those who I was able to see last week. It was great to get most of the team together. Yeah, we definitely missed you. We will get you in on the team photo. I haven't forgotten about that. But just wanted to kind of say I think there was a lot of good discussions happening, a lot of good energy, and I think I'd love to see that, us carry that forward into this milestone and carrying out the GA as well as just into the rest of the year. So I think there were a lot of good, a lot of good momentum we can just keep going with. At the same time, appreciate everyone that was in front of the poster session and kind of helped selling it. It was nice to see different team members kind of speaking to other engineers about what we're doing, why it's important, that kind of thing. So a big thank you for everyone hanging out there as well. Definitely not an easy one given that it was a 3 hour long session. There was a break in the middle of it, but I don't think they really communicated that well. But it was good to see product pop in a little bit as well before and after. We will be working on trying to deliver an async version of that, at least within core development, in terms of just trying to make that a little bit more visible to the rest of the company. And then seeing how we can do that on a regular basis going forward, just to not have to require a summit to be able to have that visibility. I think I learned a lot about what we were doing across engineering in that session, so I think it's quite valuable. The only other thing I wanted to highlight is that for those who did attend, there was a summit, there's a survey that went out from Culture Amp in terms of just gauging feedback. There was one before the summit happened, now there's one after. I would strongly encourage you to fill that out. It's very important that your input will influence the future of summits. Obviously, there was some discussion during the investor call and things like that in terms of how much the summit costs and its value there. So I think your input's going to be very welcome and shape
And
the
then,
future.
to clarify that a little bit, it is for all team members. So even if you didn't attend Summit, please fill it out as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure. But no, important nonetheless. Cool. So that's it. Pretty light agenda. I think being out for a week is gonna do that. But was there anything else that anyone wanted to talk about? All right. Well, it's good to see everyone. you get 20 minutes back. So wish you a good rest of your Tuesday or Wednesday, depending when you're watching this. And see you all later this week or next week.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.